It, and we'll just plow through with the all-terrain vehicle. Oh, no way, fucker. So that's just how it is. Somewhere further on, there's some faggot's bullshit. A Cossack, damn it.
The Russian defensive line in Zaporizhzhia could be on the verge of collapse. Across the southern front, pressure is mounting as Ukrainian forces intensify their advance and probe for decisive weak points. What began as limited tactical gains is now evolving into a broader operational threat that could shatter Russia's entire defensive structure in the sector. If the current tempo continues, the front stretching through the Zaporizhzhia axis may soon face its most dangerous moment since the start of the war. Recent Ukrainian movements west and south of Verbove suggest a coordinated push designed not for symbolic gains, but for structural collapse. Ukrainian assault groups are advancing along multiple approach routes, steadily expanding pressure toward Novoprokopivka and the surrounding defensive belt. These areas form a critical hinge in Russia's southern line. If they fall, the entire defensive geometry of the sector becomes unstable. Further west, pressure is building around Solodki and Rivne, where Ukrainian units appear to be probing for gaps between Russian formations. Rather than launching a single massive armored thrust, the armed forces of Ukraine are applying constant pressure across a wide frontage. This strategy forces Russian commanders to commit reserves piecemeal, gradually exhausting their ability to stabilize the line. And reserves are exactly what Russia appears to lack. The Russian armed forces have already committed the bulk of their maneuver units across multiple active fronts. In the Zaporizhzhia sector itself, only fragments of operational reserves remain. Chief among them are elements of the 98th Guards Airborne Division, once elite airborne troops now heavily attrited after repeated deployments. These units are reportedly under strength and already stretched thin, functioning more as emergency line infantry than as a decisive counterattack force. If Ukrainian troops manage to rupture the current defensive belt, Russia may have little left to seal the breach. Beyond the forward trenches lies relatively open terrain leading toward the strategic hub of Tokmak. This city serves as a vital logistical and command node for Russian operations across the southern theater. A Ukrainian advance toward Tokmak would threaten supply lines and potentially force a large-scale withdrawal to avoid encirclement. The danger for Moscow is not just local defeat, but systemic overstretch. Reinforcing Zaporizhzhia would likely require pulling units from other fronts, weakening positions in Donetsk or Kharkiv and risking new breakthroughs there. Failing to reinforce, however, could allow Ukrainian forces to exploit a widening gap and unravel the entire southern defensive network. For now, Russian artillery and aviation continue to slow Ukrainian momentum, buying time and preventing a sudden collapse. But time alone cannot replace missing reserves. Each Ukrainian push, each probing assault, and each captured position further erodes Russia's capacity to respond effectively. What is unfolding in Zaporizhzhia may be the prelude to something far larger. A controlled, methodical Ukrainian advance is steadily setting the conditions for a decisive strike. If the line cracks, even briefly, there may be little left behind it capable of stopping a rapid exploitation. The coming weeks could determine whether this front remains a grinding stalemate or becomes the point where the southern line finally gives way. In the same volatile sector of southern Ukraine, the tempo of operations continues to rise as Ukrainian aviation joins the battlefield in force. A Ukrainian MiG-29 Mu-1 fighter jet carried out precision airstrikes targeting Russian UAV operator positions in and around Huliaipol, a key town sitting near one of the most contested sections of the front. The strikes were aimed at disrupting Russian drone reconnaissance and attack coordination, which have played a critical role in holding back Ukrainian ground advances. By targeting UAV teams directly, the armed forces of Ukraine are attempting to blind Russian artillery and reduce their ability to track troop movements across the sector. And if you want to see through the eyes of a Ukrainian soldier, this is several days-old footage from Huliaipole.
And we'll just plow through with the all-terrain vehicle. Oh, no way, fucker. So that's just how it is. Somewhere further on, there's some faggot's bullshit. A Cossack, damn it. We are moving along very slowly, little by little, but surely. The entire road, I'm telling you, the entire road is almost completely covered with this fucking artillery and all sorts of shit.
So there you have it. Go on and do your thing.
Well, we'll stir things up and brazenly push through. We have a balls of steel, and we don't care. Oh, Baba Yaga's lying there. Faggots. That's probably the most disgusting thing, that faggots ever invented.
This is Russian reality. Sedanka is a tiny indigenous village in Russia's far east, nearly 9,000 kilometers from Ukraine. Out of roughly 250 residents, 67 men went to fight in Ukraine. At least 19 are now dead or missing, and dozens more returned wounded or psychologically broken. Most went for one reason: money. In a place with no jobs, no infrastructure, and no future, the war offered salaries and bonuses far higher than anything available at home. Local officials called Sedanka a village of military valor. That is a grotesque title once meant for World War II battlefields. They promised support and recognition for the village, but nothing changed. The Russian army is continuing to send grossly unfit men to fight in Ukraine. They include a crippled elderly pensioner, a man with a withered arm, and a legless man who has been designated an assault machine gunner. The pensioner is, or now most likely was, 59-year-old Sergei Zuikov from Salavat, who was forced by his employer to sign a military contract in March 2025, despite having a spinal injury. He was not given a medical fitness review before being sent to Ukraine. Only 2 months later, in May 2025, he was wounded by a mine explosion and received multiple injuries for which he underwent treatment and rehabilitation. His family say that he received no compensation for his wounds. He was sent back to Ukraine on the 6th of September, once again without receiving a medical fitness review. His family subsequently lost contact with him, and he was declared missing in November. The Russian authorities have not responded to the family's pleas for assistance. Zuikov's experience is not unusual, as men with unhealed severe injuries and even lost limbs have been sent to fight for at least 2 years. They have little or no combat effectiveness, but help to make up the numbers in frontline units. In a video published by Mobilization News, several soldiers show off their injuries as they prepare to be sent back to the fighting. One has a disabled arm, and the machine gunner has lost his right leg below the knee.
Keep your hands steady. Oh, this is how they're transporting us. What the fuck, actually?
Fuck shit, you hear me? And I'm laughing at the fucking cockroaches.
What? Am I supposed to fucking cry now, for Christ's sake?
It should have been my
We're not
namesakes,
giving up.
and
Fuck
everyone
that.
with me.
Right.
Cockroaches. Let's wait for the roaches.
Buddy, give me. Leg.
He's the navigator, the machine gunner. They said it would be like this.
Where did he get it? Where will he mess up?
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comments section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.